We need to talk about ADHD and overcommitting, because I just experienced it within the last few weeks. Multiple ways, by the way, and not just. I've experienced it most of my life, but you know what I'm trying to say. Did you guys know that you could technically overcommit to yourself? I didn't know that was a thing. Actually, I still don't know if it's a thing. Is it? If it's not, I'm going to coin it or make it a thing, whatever you call it, because I definitely overcommitted to myself. And it's something we should talk about. Yeah. Getting a little too old for that. How's everybody doing? Welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you're new here, my name is Steve, and I talk about my experience when it comes to ADHD. And if you haven't gotten it from the little intro there, we're talking about overcommitting ourselves. Or actually myself, because remember, it's about my experience. So maybe you relate. I tend to overcommit in many different ways, and it affects me in many different ways. And those ways that it affects me usually lead to burnout, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the ways I tend to overcommit. And the most common is probably forgetfulness. I tend to forget about my responsibilities and other commitments, especially when somebody lays down another commitment right in front of me. As a matter of fact, that's happened within the last few weeks as well. I told you I overcommitted in multiple ways. I'm a coach at my son's travel baseball team, and the manager put out a feeler just a couple weeks ago about a tournament that's 3 hours out of town in a weekend in September. And I was like, that's a good experience for him, and I would have fun doing that. So yeah, we're in. 9 months ago, I booked a photography event for the same weekend, and I forgot about it. So I just remembered that a couple days ago. So my wife has to take my kid to the baseball tournament, and I got to stay back and photograph this event. So forgetfulness plays a role. People pleasing play a role as well, though, because I'm a people pleaser. But if I'm trying to please multiple people, I could definitely get overwhelmed and overcommitted because everybody has a commitment that needs to be done, and probably at the same time. It could also cause me to forget things because if I'm trying to please multiple people at the same time, I'm not remembering any of my other commitments. So yeah, it all relates somehow, some way. But overcommitting to yourself, that's a whole new story. And you're probably wondering what that looks like. It's really being committed to your ideas. Maybe you got a project and there's a time crunch on it, and you are just getting all these ideas to do, and you want to implement all of them. And it's hard to let go of some of those ideas. I got to give you some context. I'm the volunteer photographer to my kids' swim team. My job is to take photos, edit the photos, put it into a slideshow for the end of year party, to music. That's pretty much what they're expecting. And I just took over the slideshow portion of it last year. Last year, I included video, and people liked it because it's something different. Usually it's just photos, but I included some video in there. Nothing special. But this year I had so many ideas. I wanted to make this look like a movie trailer. I wanted graphics. I wanted text. I wanted special effects. I wanted the whole 9 yards. I had so many ideas, and those ideas just kept coming and coming and coming, and I wanted to implement all of them, which means I basically overdid it when it came to the timeline. I gave myself about a week to get this video out, which I thought was enough time, but I didn't realize that a lot of those special effects and graphics is a bit more extensive than what I'm used to when I edit videos. And my knowledge of editing efficiently and quickly is just not at that level yet. I was almost late on this one. As a matter of fact, this thing didn't get done exporting until about a half an hour after that party started. Luckily, they don't watch the slideshow till the nighttime, but that's what overcommitting to yourself looks like. It's committing to your ideas and not wanting to let it go. And the difficult part about it is sometimes you could fall into hyperfocus and hyperfixation because you're trying to implement all of these ideas, and maybe something goes wrong. And if something goes wrong, you're in that problem-solving mode, get hyper-focused, and next thing you know, it's time to turn in the project and you only got it halfway done. I realize I experience this most of my life. I do this when I'm cleaning my house. Just supposed to clean the living room, but guess what? I end up rearranging the whole house because I think it's more efficient this way or something along those lines. Here's the funny part about my situation. What they're expecting is really just a slideshow with photos put to music. That's all they're really expecting. The video, the special effects, the graphics, that's all me, which means I'm really just burning myself out for a requirement they're not expecting. And the problem is I'm not too sure exactly how to cope with this. The only thing I could think of is if I have a time crunch and I'm starting to get all these ideas and I'm excited about the project before I even start, I need to narrow down the top 2 ideas and implement those. And if I have time, I could add on the 3rd and then even the 4th. Maybe I only got 1 or 2 of them done, but at least I got the project in on time. So that's the only thing I could think of to cope with this thing. So let me know if you guys got any ideas. As a matter of fact, let me know if you guys experience overcommitting to yourself, because I don't think I'm alone in this one, but I could be, because it's not like I heard anybody say that, I overcommitted to myself. So I'm not too sure if this is a thing, but let me know. It's not like I'm hoping that you guys experience this. It kind of stinks to experience this, but in a way, I am kind of hoping that you guys are experiencing this, because then I'm not left out in the cold all alone. So when it comes to forgetfulness, I actually use my wife. I call her up all the time and ask her if we have something going on, and if we don't, then I commit, which actually didn't happen with the baseball thing. She forgot about my photography event. You know what? We're not talking about that. Don't mention to her that I said anything. But yeah, I could do that, but at the same time, I also realized a lot of times they're not expecting an answer right then and there. So I could easily say, give me a day or 2, let me check my schedules, and I'll get back to you. And then I check my schedule, make sure I'm not double booking anything, or make sure I don't have so many things on my plate that this one more commitment may burn me out. The trick is, though, by the way, is to write down that you're going to get back with that person, because if you're anything like me, you're going to forget to get back with that person. So yeah, write it down. Write it down. Let them know at least that you're in or out, because if you're out, they could get somebody else to help them out. So just let them know in a couple days. Make sure you do that. When it comes to people pleasing, I'm actually stealing this from Jessica from How to ADHD. It's okay to say no. And no is a full sentence. And that's really all I'm going to say about that, because I got to implement that in my life. It's easier said than done, but I definitely got to implement that. Let me know if you guys experience overcommitting to yourself, because like I said, I don't want to be out in the cold all alone, I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you got something out of it. If you did, hit the like button. It really helps me out, and I will see you next time.